Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Harris versus Sterling.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Harris, you claim that your 15-year on and off relationship with Mr. Sterling has produced a baby that he is trying to get out of helping raise. You are here to prove paternity and force him to step up. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Sterling, you say the plaintiff told you her son, Kason, was not yours, and you are tired of taking care of another man's baby. You've come to get the DNA proof you need to remove your name from the birth certificate and finally get Ms. Harris out of your life. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Harris, you say you're not going to raise this baby alone?
Yes, Your Honor. Basically, Mr. Sterling needs to step up and take care of his baby that he knows is his. You know, I'm not going to do this by myself. So I'm here because I want to prove paternity to him that this is his child.
And so you've been doing it by yourself thus far?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
11 months, Kason is?
Our birthday is tomorrow, so he'll be 1. I had him on my birthday last year.
And so, Mr. Sterling, the case is almost 1 year. No help, no support?
First of all, that's not my baby, and I'm going off of what Charity is telling me.
First of all,
what did she tell you?
It is his baby, and he knows it's his baby.
That is not the truth.
What
It
did
is
she
his
tell you?
baby.
She tells me when we get to arguing, this is not your baby. And
Yeah,
you need...
because he get on my nerves, and I don't want him to be in my life. So just like he want to move on and move on with his life, I do too sometimes. I hate I even met him.
Okay, so Ms. Harris, the truth is you did ring that bell. You have said to him it's not your baby.
I did.
And you know as a woman, once you ring it, you can't unring it. He's
understand.
always gonna have that thought in his mind and that doubt to hang his hat on.
Right, but he wasn't doing nothing before the bell got rung about him not being the father.
So you're saying
Yana.
even before you said this, he was not stepping up to the plate.
And he was cheating the whole time I was pregnant.
That's a negative.
Before
That is
he
a
cheated
negative.
the whole
That is a
time,
negative.
and he's lying.
And so
Your
hold on,
Honor.
Mr. Sterling.
Yes.
Because even if he was cheating, that's bad enough, and we don't want that, and we do not condone that in this courtroom. The question concerning paternity would surround whether or not you were sleeping with somebody else at the time.
Right.
And so, Mr. Sterling, what I'm saying is I want to understand your doubt. First off, you're saying she's told you, point blank, you are not Kason's biological father.
Yes, that timeline doesn't add up at all. She told me her finger was broken or something, and she went to the hospital or to a random doctor or whatever, and they told her she was pregnant. And when they told her that she was pregnant, she called me. 6-8 weeks it's supposed to be when they said that she was pregnant, how long she was conceived.
And you submitted a calendar to the court.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to go through that calendar so I can better understand this.
Thank you.
So now, the first date on this calendar says the doctor's appointment was on March 21st, and the doctor says that Ms. Harris is 6 to 8 weeks pregnant, and you had sex on Valentine's Day. So now, if we count back 6 to 8 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, that is the last week in January.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
First of all, they told me the HCG number of the blood test showed that I was between 6 to 8 weeks. When I went to my primary care gynecologist, they confirmed that I was 6 weeks pregnant, and because of my last menstrual period that was on February 1st, and my conception date was Valentine's weekend. So why would my doctor make that up?
Ms. Harris, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. There are women, grown women, that stand in this courtroom that don't completely understand the workings of their reproductive organs and systems. They don't.
Right.
And so as we look at this third, look, and that's why you understand it.
Yes.
What I asked him was, what is your doubt based on? Why are you so distant from this baby? Why don't you believe this baby is yours?
Well,
and he's trying to say to me, these are my reasons. Number one, she told me I wasn't. Number two, when I did the calculation, this is what I came up with. This is his evidence he submitted to the court.
Right.
Your explanation of the evidence is your explanation.
Exactly.
But his understanding is something different. And so that's why I am trying to understand why he doubts. And I want him to enumerate it. Now, Mr. Sterling,
Yes, ma'am.
please tell me if there is any other reason why you doubt Kason is your biological child.
When she was 8 months pregnant, she told me that it was another guy who could be the baby's father. And it broke my heart.
First of all, that's a lie.
What happened?
We had an argument, and she just brung that up. I don't know if she was mad or what, but whatever
What
it is,
Tell me the story.
It implanted doubt in my head.
Lying.
What happened?
She said, "Don't worry, you not my baby's father anyway, so you need to like go on, kick rocks, get on with your life or whatever." I'm like, what? Like, we were just together. I was just, you know, the baby's father and everything, but now all of a sudden
Did
girlfriend.
she tell you when she was with this other guy?
Yes, 2 weeks before we had sex on February 14th. It's not funny,
So,
man. What's so
if
funny
you-
about this?
funny.
If you go back to the calendar, you're now saying if we count
'Cause you
2
ain't gonna make
weeks
me look like-
before the time when you were intimate with her, which is February 14th, 2 weeks before that would be around the first week in February, last week of January. You're saying it puts the window right at the time when she claimed she was intimate with somebody else.
Amen, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Harris, did you have sex with another man 2 weeks before you had sex with Mr. Sterling?
It wasn't
on the
2 weeks.
14th?
It was like 3 weeks. It was like not even 3 weeks.
So it's 2 to 3 weeks before you were intimate with
100.
Mr. Sterling. You were intimate with another man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Did you ever tell this other man you were pregnant?
No, because it was not a possibility because I did not have unprotected sex with this man like I did with Chris when I conceived.
So you never
So
told...
he didn't tell you that part.
So you did have sex with the other guy, but you used protection?
Yeah.
That's what she says. I don't know.
That's what I did. I don't gotta lie on myself.
Man.
So
No
we
reason
here
why.
today for a reason.
Things
because
happen.
she is
Either you
lying.
the dad or
because
you're
she
not.
is a liar. That's the reason we here today. And
Exactly,
the
because you
problem
a
is-
liar, you need to step
no,
up pretty
listen,
much.
I don't want to take care of another man's child.
You want to take
I
care
don't-
of the children
Yes, I
that's
do.
yours.
Yes, I
you don't
do.
take
I
care
love
of
him.
yourself.
I love that
So
little boy, and you know that.
Don't sit here
You
and
know
flex
that.
like you just
You
don't
know
want to
that.
take
That's
care
the
of another
reason you
man,
want
baby.
me to be the
First
baby
of all,
daddy.
you don't
For
take
me
care
not
of
to have
yourself
nothing,
or
for
the
me not
child
to
that
be
you already
nothing.
got.
So
Don't
wait.
sit here and kick it like that, baby.
I ain't got nothing to do with this
I'm
situation.
just letting you know. Don't
This
sit
is
here
about
and kick it
casing.
like you do now.
So hold on. Your biggest issue is you don't want to take care of another man's child. You want to know if this child is yours. You don't believe this child is yours.
He don't
Yes,
like
she
responsibility,
lied,
Your
man.
Honor.
And
No,
Ms. Harris,
lied
you
to
believe
me.
he's avoiding responsibility.
He avoided responsibility. Let me tell you something. Whether my son is or is not his, he don't take care of himself or the one that he knows is his.
But now you just
don't
said
do
whether your
nothing.
son is or isn't his. So do you have doubt?
No,
Maybe-
I don't, Your
maybe
Honor.
the
I know he
condom
my
broke
baby
with
daddy.
who?
I know this. I
The
know
condom broke with who?
Mr. Sterling is my child's father because I was not having sex
I was
like
getting
that.
it in, man. God.
Yeah, we were getting it in, just like you done got it in and the condom broke with another girl.
Okay.
That's another story. We'll say that for couples court.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this will be an ongoing saga. Let's deal with the paternity issue now.
Well, Your Honor, I just want to say, with all the doubt that he has, first of all, he was there with all my doctor visits.
Yes.
He was there when I delivered my baby.
Yes.
Along with flirting and cheating on me throughout my whole pregnancy. He was at the hospital flirting with nurses. And I'm about to get to fighting because I'm
Honor.
like, you not finna
Your
try
Honor.
me like that,
Your
right?
Honor. Your Honor.
So, hold on, sir.
No,
So,
man, no.
he signed the birth
Please don't let her
certificate
finish that,
and cut the
please.
umbilical cord. One thing about it, if you thought that this was not your baby, then I didn't have no gun in your head. Why you signed the birth certificate? Why you was there
Man.
through my delivery? Why did you cut the umbilical cord? So here is the birth certificate that he signed.
Let me
And I
see
wanna
that.
submit
Jerome,
this
let me
to
see
you.
the birth certificate.
Cause you got life all the way twisted, sir.
That's your brain.
No, that's your brain.
So this is evidence of Kason Sterling's birth certificate where Christopher Sterling has signed as father.
Yes.
So she asks a very good question, Mr. Sterling. If you had this doubt, when the baby came and you were at the hospital, why execute the birth certificate if you know you have doubt?
The thing about it, Your Honor, like at the 8 months when we got into it over the argument, I thought it was just because she might have been mad. Maybe she did just say this out of
You
the
knew
side
you
of her.
cheated and you lied and you wrong.
Whatever. So maybe she did say this out of just spite, you know what I'm saying? So when she had the baby,
Come on,
I still
boy,
was
man.
there. I was still there, and I was still doing what I can, being by her side.
What was you doing? You wasn't
rubbing
back-
your big old feet, rubbing them big old
Get
legs,
away.
them hips, them wrists. Yeah.
He's trying to joke.
Baby, I look ugly. No, baby, you look good.
I'm not. No, don't worry,
Man.
Miss Harris. I'm not laughing.
Feet,
I was
baby.
there.
But get what?
I rubbed them big old feet.
You were up my.
But listen,
Come on,
listen.
man.
No.
Man.
We're not laughing at you, Miss Harris. I'm laughing with you though because I was just looking at some old pictures when I was
Man,
8, 9 months pregnant, and I mean my feet were huge.
Oh, I was
like it's
sexy
crazy.
pregnant.
It was
I was
crazy.
sexy, and I own
So
it.
I know that's right. But what?
Yeah.
But listen,
No.
listen. The point is he's saying. He did think when you said that in the argument that you were just being mean. And he didn't really believe it. And so you executed the birth certificate, right, Mr. Sterling?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were happy to do so because you believe
my
this was your
baby.
child.
Right? Yes.
Okay.
But somehow from that point on, the doubts began to grow
Yes.
based upon...
Sure enough,
He think the baby don't look like him.
4 months, she texted me. And when she texted me, she said, the baby is somebody else's. She said it again. I couldn't believe she told me through a
told
text
you
again.
once.
No, you told me again through a text 4 months
you
later.
once.
And told me
And
that
so,
it wasn't mine again.
Hold
and he
on. The communication you're talking about, Mr. Sterling, you submitted to the court.
Yes.
It says, I don't even ask for that much and you play me. My turn, fool, and that's why the baby's not yours.
Yeah.
And then
She
you
don't know how to spell,
respond, you're
y'all.
not an angel.
She don't know how to spell.
But you don't know how to
Either.
spell. You're very literate. You didn't even
What's
graduate from high
F-O-O?
school, baby.
So the
Don't
point-
play me,
but
baby.
listen,
I'm
the
very
point is
educated. One
he's-
thing you're not gonna do is sit here and try to play me like I'm stupid. That's what you're not
No,
gonna
you're not
do.
stupid.
Miss-
I'm stupid.
Yeah, you are. I'm
Yeah,
very
I am.
stupid because I'm dealing with your broke ass.
No.
Hold on,
I'm
Miss
stupid 'cause I'm here worried
Harris,
about what
hold
another-
on.
Come
Let's
man.
not go there
Yeah, you
with it.
talking about-
What he
Right.
submitted it for is to show that you have said in writing, and you admittedly said in an argument, this child is not his. What he's establishing is there's been a reoccurring theme in this relationship that the baby's not his.
No, it was one time. He's using that because he don't like responsibility. He wasn't doing that before I told him that. So what was the difference?
So was this the only time you told him the baby wasn't
Yes,
his?
he
So
lied.
the argument that he's talking about, you didn't tell him that you had sex with the other man and the baby?
No, listen. The time he talking about when he talking I was with the dude 2 weeks before, first of all, me and Chris was off and on with our pregnancy because at the end of the day, he was still cheating and still trying to be with his previous relationship and other females. That's one thing. Number two, he took me through a lot of emotional distress that I don't deserve after losing between the time that we weren't together, them 10 years, I lost my boyfriend of 8 years. And he knew that. And he was insecure of a deceased person. He took me through hell. So how he feel
it was
is
the way she
bull.
went about
Because
it.
at the end of the day, you don't like responsibility. You didn't like it before I got pregnant, before we reunited, because you ain't took care of your firstborn. So don't sit here and kick it like that, Steve folks.
Okay, so listen. The whole point,
This ain't a classroom.
listen, the whole point as to why we're here is because we want to find out the answers relating to Kaysen's paternity. That's why we're here. And the truth is, if it's determined he is Kaysen's biological father, whether he likes responsibility or he does not, he will have it. Because if he does not take care of it, the court will ensure that he does.
No
So
problem.
now let's get to finding out the answer we came here for. Before I go to the results, Mr. Sterling, what is your hope? I still don't really understand whether you want Kaysen to be your biological child or whether you don't.
He don't understand nothing.
I do, Your Honor. I done grown a bond with him. Like, he calls me daddy. He's the one, like, I'm always looking for.
But you ain't gotta do all that. You
Oh,
save
bro.
all that drama for your mom, baby.
So
This
you-
ain't lifetime.
But no, Mr. Sterling, so in that
Like I
moment...
said,
All
I
them
love
fake
him.
feels. You don't
If we
take care of
can't,
that, baby.
if I found out he's not mine, that's just what it is. I have to
Exactly,
move on.
it is what
'cause I
it
can't take care of
is.
another
Move
man's
on
baby.
back to your previous relationship that you just last week got caught.
I hope
still
he
trying
mine.
to
I
hold
hope
on to
he,
these
in
folks,
a
man,
sense,
please.
I hope he mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, not because of her for real. I just
doing
want the
too much. I'm
results so
sorry.
I can move on with my life. If he mine or he not,
Goodbye.
I just want to go about it the right way.
I'm ready to go to the results.
All right. Me too.
It's time. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Harris versus Sterling, Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. When it comes to 11-month-old Kason Sterling, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Sterling, you are the father.
Exactly. So what you got to say now,
You
baby?
are his father.
All this, next. See, you know, we got to leave here. You know that, right? Why
You know what, Miss Harris? There are men that don't come see their children because they don't want to deal with a woman that acts like you. I'm keeping it real. But it's not because it's wrong or right. It's just because it's a reality of how relationships are. I can see how frustrated you are. I've heard exactly what you said.
He's a liar, he cheats.
But the point, I get that.
That's why our relationship and dynamic is like that.
You think I don't get that?
So it's not me.
So no, it's not about that. What I'm saying to you is it's not about you. It's about Kason.
That's why I'm here.
And that's what I want you to understand.
Exactly.
And what I'm saying to you is create a situation where your son has the best opportunity to have his father in his life and also for his father to care for him and be present to help you raise him.
Well, now
just understand
we can move
that at
forward.
the end, yes,
we can
that's
move forward.
it. You can move forward. And Mr. Sterling, are you ready to move forward?
Yes.
Good. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to go talk to Dr. Jeff, and I want you to figure out how to do that. You have a beautiful baby.
Thank you.
If anything in the world is worth just
He's
the
definitely
effort,
worth it.
he is worth it.
More
all right?
worth it. Yes,
I wish
you're
you all
right.
the very best of luck.
Thank
Court
you,
is
Your
adjourned.
Honor.